All right, welcome to the Taxi Squad Sit Start Saturday for March 2nd. I am Alan. I have Jay with me. And as I promised in the Discord, I do have a special guest here with me. Off to my side, I have my 1C, my best off-season trade acquisition, my 1A goalie, my wife, Bo.
Now I come over?
Yeah, there we go.
Hello!
And I'm going to pose to you the same question that was posed to Jay and I on the first episode is what gives you the right? Why should anyone listen to what you have to say?
Well, first of all, I'm better than you at fantasy hockey, and that has been proven. In the league that we are both in, I've won the last 3 years in a row, and last year I beat you in the finals. Like
how badly
really,
though? How badly
really
though was that?
badly, guys. Like he talked a mad game. Oh, babe, I'm not gonna take it easy on you. Blah 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 blah. Do you want me to send you some spreadsheets to help you? I said no. I got this. By day 2, it was determined.
Yeah, and in that league, like 20 points is a pretty sizable lead. It's sometimes it's hard to come back from. You beat me by like what, 80 points?
Yeah,
like it was bad.
Like
and
it was not.
You didn't stop. You proceeded to use every possible ad that week to get like the highest possible score.
You're gonna learn a lesson, sir. You don't talk to me.
And then you're in the Reddit league with me. It was a points league, and then you're also
in a girl league, Girl Gang Fantasy Hockey. So yeah. I'm doing pretty well in that. It's the first year, but it's a lot of fun to be in 2 leagues. The girl league is a cats league, so that has been a learning experience.
I do find it so hilarious that it's like, wow, it's been so much extra work for 2 leagues, and here I am with my 5 leagues, and like Craig has like 13 leagues.
I have a very busy life. I take care of children. Not including him and
the biggest child of them all.
The biggest child. So that puts me at 4 kids, including you.
All right, so let's start in the Discord. Oh, we share that. Present
the starter bench.
Yeah, we'll start there. There we go. All right, so first up Blaze Escape will get to his, but first up from non-parallel, Larkin versus Florida or Zib versus Toronto. I'm leaning Larkin. I own Zibanejad in the listener league, and he has been nothing but disappointment for me. I feel like Larkin is just almost the no-brainer here.
Yeah. This one time I have to agree with you. Larkin's been doing well, and I don't think Zibanejad's doing so hot lately.
Especially in 2 games against Columbus.
Oh,
that's true.
Yeah, I guess this is a differentiation too, right? It's like a start or a sit versus like an add or a drop. So I would say like if any other people have the options in an add or a drop, don't add Zib, because I think the Rangers still have a 2-game week next week. Or I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm going to check that.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
They do. Yeah. So
it's hard when we put out the shows a few days early.
Right. Yeah. Add Larkin for sure. Don't add Zib because he's not got a good game set up next week. If it's just between them, the only other thing I would say, if I was playing devil's advocate, I would say that the Toronto goaltending is not quite as stellar as the Florida goaltending tandem at the moment.
See, that's the only thing that makes me pause. But I'm like, no, I don't try. Even against Columbus, like who should have even more suspect goaltending? Like Zib did zeros.
No. That dumpy Midwest team, he couldn't compete against.
Yeah, that's something, Bo, you can say that I probably would get flack on if I said a dumpy Midwest team. But definitely, I think the other part is Larkin's top C, right? Whereas Zib is definitely top C as well, but Trocheck's been having a steamer so far. Wait, no, actually, I guess it depends which one you're going steamer for, but
Trocheck was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anything, Zib might be, trending downwards, whereas Larkin is, unopposed on the top C. Yeah. Okay. We'll just smash the green and then we'll roll on. Yeah. Start Larkin.
I can smash the green.
And this is this is the one from Blaze
added.
Escape, which I actually have to scroll up more here. Who to play, pick 2. Assuming all of these guys start, which Georgiev is the only confirmed starter so far. You got Georgiev versus Nashville, Vazzy versus Montreal, Kochekov versus Winnipeg, and Skinner versus Seattle, which I think Skinner is pretty much confirmed. I think what's his face? Pickard is getting Sunday. I think Georgiev, and then I don't know how I feel about Vazzy this season, coming off of back surgery. I would almost go Skinner.
He's got some really good starters on his team.
He does.
I know.
I saw that.
Well, actually, I don't know about Georgiev.
I don't think
been
so.
Weak sauce, and Nashville's been
I was gonna say
on a tear since they got denied from seeing U2, which I'd be pissed too. I'd play with the chip on my shoulder.
Okay, objectively, the worst team opponent, the worst team, or I guess the best team schedule wise to face, we'd all agree would be Montreal, right?
Right.
I want to face Montreal if I was looking at any of these opponents. So I definitely want to face Montreal. And I shouldn't say best team. I think the worst performing opponent would be like averages wise Montreal. So then I think I'd start Vaz just by looking at this. And then of the others, Seattle is the next worst, right?
Right. That's what I was like.
So I don't think you start Kochekov.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think
because if any of those
opponents
opponents are going to put up like a 5 spot or something, it's Winnipeg.
It's Winnipeg. Yeah.
I don't know.
So I would say it's either Georgiev or Skinner, and Georgiev's definitely starting. So there's his plus. Skinner, I think, is likely to start too. And if of those two, I would probably lean. Ooh, I don't know. Both Nashville and Seattle. Seattle just came off. Was that did they get shut out or did they?
They shut out Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So I don't know. I probably would still lean Skinner like you, Alan, because if there's anyone that can smash and blast the pumpkin, turn the Kraken back from princesses to pumpkins, I think it's the Edmonton Oilers. I think that team's gonna crush. So, yeah.
No.
Vazzy and Skinner.
No, I like definitely Vazzy.
There's no bias there at all,
I've been in love with Vazzy since he was Ben Bishop's backup. But he hasn't been.
Jeez, that's old school. Bishop.
Yeah, no, like that tells you how long I've been his.
Yeah, so when we got her jersey, her Vazzy jersey,
it's actually signed.
You had to do a custom order for it. Like it wasn't one of the pre-selections you could do.
Yeah. But it's actually signed by Bishop and Vazzy, so that's pretty cool. When we got
it's like I guess if you get the misspelled Vazzy jerseys, then you really know because it had to be custom made and you were just guessing.
Dude, that's why I double checked it like several times to make sure that I had spelled it right.
Yeah. But I like him even though he hasn't been that stellar lately. But I'm sorry, I gotta go Carolina for the goalie.
And I mean, I know they suppress shots against Kochekov.
You gotta trust me. Watch. This is the one time the Oracle is not gonna be right.
She's the true goalie whisperer.
No,
like you and Craig think I am. She's.
I tell him. I tell him those things. I'm the true whisperer. No, I don't know. Watch. This is gonna be the one time. See, Alan is like all stats based, and I look at that stuff, but I also really rely on intuition, and this time it's going to be very wrong. But Alan will tell you we'll disagree on something, and then and it's stupid stuff too. Even
most recently, the 2 games against where Elvis played New York, both times I sat him, and then both times even on Tuesday at Rangers, you were like. We had a logical debate on whether Elvis was worth starting. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, because you gave him some real shit when we were in Columbus for that game, and I said, "Don't you disrespect that man?"
Right? I was like, I
And
wish
because
this
we were
guy
there
would
live
play
for
like
it.
he
Yeah.
wants to get
And
traded.
then they killed the Rangers
He wants to
in
get
Columbus.
traded.
He needs
I
to, yeah,
know.
he needs to play like he wants to get traded.
Yeah, and then on Tuesday,
I mean, he
had a
lost,
feel,
but again,
he put up a
9-2-9
See,
against
I'm
the
not-
Rangers.
I'm not entirely dumb on that. I don't
So-
know, but maybe anyway.
The biggest one I think is any one of these guys are like, okay, all these guys play on good teams. All these guys are starter level players, and all like, on the day the puck is flat, right? Like anything can happen. So I mean, can I see a scenario where Kochetkov just pulls off a 4-0 shutout? Like, absolutely. Even against Winnipeg, absolutely. Winnipeg, I think, was on like a 4-game losing streak or something, or was it a 2-game losing streak? But I mean, just looking at their opponents, Nashville, Montreal, Winnipeg, Seattle, I would way rather face Montreal and Seattle. That's just me.
Right? No, of
I guess
those,
Yeah. Logically,
I am.
that makes sense. I'm not disagreeing.
Well,
with
hockey's
that.
not a logical game.
No, and that's why I love it.
And-
Anything can happen.
And Bo, you can vote whomever you want there, but I'm also gonna vote like one extra little one on Colorado, so that if anyone is like leaning between it, doesn't want to start Skinner, for example, I think Vazzy should be like the blanket start, like blanketly start Vazzy.
Mhm.
If
Oh,
if
Man,
he
this
gets
could be
the
famous
start.
last words, unless he doesn't
Right.
get the green check mark. But like, blanketly start Vazzy, assuming they all get the green check mark, and then afterwards it's like a descending scale order. Go Skinner, and then afterwards go Georgiev.
Man. Ooh, what's this?
So all right. So this third one, Gillian 23. If Sean Monahan plays today, which one of my forwards should I sit? And he's got quite a rogues gallery here: Marchessault,
Yeah.
Barkov, Stamkos, Giroux, O'Reilly, Kadri, Nietzsche, Pinto, and Raymond.
Oh my gosh. Would you guys like kick me off right now if I was like, he should sit Stamkos? Like that by far.
I don't know. Stamkos has been
That's fair, but
Not
you're
so-
not gonna
he's
like,
contract
bench-
year, so
you're
he
not
should
gonna
be
bench
playing
him
much better.
lightly.
No,
Like
no.
that would just be stupid.
like he's not top line. He's like middle
Sean
six right now.
I don't think
But
Sean
he's-
Monahan is playing today, though.
He's day to
But he's
day,
not.
so
Mhm.
he's I think
He's
game
day-to-day.
time decision.
What's
You know.
no? But day to day is not the same as game time decision, is it? Wait, I play basketball and hockey and
Hold
all
on,
that. Yeah, so I'm like, I don't
Let's.
So
like.
from
Have
those
you
two
ever
sports-
seen a GTD in hockey? I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Game time call for Saturday is the
Ooh.
headline.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he skipped
Um,
practice yesterday.
But you know,
So
it
he's-
sparks
he's
a
in
fun
the
debate
forward,
whether or
right?
not.
Yeah, it's all
Mhm,
forwards. It doesn't
mhm.
look like this league does positions.
I'd say probably, if anything.
There we go.
Well, actually,
Vazzy.
wait, no.
Vazzy is
Winnipeg plays
confirmed as
early,
starter.
so we're gonna find out soon.
Mhm.
And then I guess you drop like Raymond just to give him, right?
Oh, so you're saying Raymond?
Ooh,
I'm
we're
almost
on the
saying Natchez.
Nietzsche's.
Oh, geez, I didn't even see Natchez. Sorry. Okay, yeah, 100% Natchez first.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we all agree on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
just
in this
Natchez.
league, if they count
Just
any
Natchez.
kind of hits or anything, like Kadri's a stud. O'Reilly, that hot Nashville team,
Yeah.
they want to see you two in Vegas next year.
Oh my God, you gotta let that go. People have to let that go.
Well, Nashville's not. That's why they're leaving a trail of bodies in the league right now. Yeah, Natchez for me if Monahan's
That's such
in.
an incredible reference. I hope it never dies. That's so funny. Oh man. Yeah, I don't see, right? Like Marchessault shoots. Like Alan, we joked about it on the recording, but like
when they're playing
Marchessault
Buffalo.
would shoot on a
Mm-hmm.
3-on-1, you know? Like he would shoot on a 3-on-1. He would not pass to either of his like teammates. You have to get that sort of fantasy prized asset on your team starting, no matter what.
I love him.
I don't know about Barkov. Like I feel like Barkov just leathers and sauces nice passes, but
He's a stud. You
He
have to
doesn't-
play him.
Mm-hmm.
I guess yeah, he's a stud. You got to play him. Giroux, I think is a drastically different player if your league counts not fantasy face offs, or if it doesn't. Like,
but I mean, so it was just announced. Sandstrom's in net for Philly, so I mean, Philly still plays that suppressive system. Well, it suppresses high danger chances. So they might still get a bunch of
we were
shots on
talking
him,
about
but-
Giroux there.
Yeah.
We were talking about Giroux, and when you said Sandstrom, I thought you meant Sanderson. Second, and I'm like, that's desperate. A guy on the IR plus, and that's a defense.
Oh no, Sandstrom's healthy.
What the hell
Or
is
not-
happening in
not
Ottawa?
Sandstrom,
Oh my
Sanderson.
gosh.
Oh, he is?
Sanderson's
He's
healthy.
back?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan's wild sometimes with
Yeah.
his pickups. You have no idea.
But Giroux, I think you got to
We're
do
just gonna
Giroux.
strap the pads on him and get him in net.
Yeah.
What? Giroux? What? Wait. He's
but
the
Giroux.
guy?
I say you play Giroux. But Natchez for me
Oh,
is
yeah.
the
Sorry, I
drop.
thought you said
100%.
drop him. I was like, no.
no,
Natchez.
please don't drop
It's
him.
Natchez.
No,
100% Natchez.
Giroux is close enough. He's stud adjacent. Like he's, I think, power play one. Getting that line 1, line 2 deployment.
Mhm.
And Philly, I don't know what to suspect, or I don't know what to expect from Sandstrom, but I don't. It's not Urson. And Philly Philly got blown up last night. They played last night.
Yes. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's Natchez.
Natchez. I think so too. Did we want to check that goalie chat? I think there's some other ones in the other, I guess, Discord channels that we could
Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
there we go.
address.
Oh, well, there we go. They're talking about Blaze Escapes question there. Sit one today. Okay.
I think it's a different one, no?
Oh yeah, that's
Yep. Yeah, from Prangley. Sit one today. Leaning toward UPL. Tough matchups across the board. So it's Kochetkov against Winnipeg.
Mhm.
Okay. UPL against Vegas. Lion against Detroit. I don't know if Lucan or UPL's the confirmed starter or not.
don't know.
But if we assume they all start, I feel like Lukanen's the sit.
Yeah, you just said UPL. Yeah, you just say UPL.
UPL.
You can
Lukanen.
overthink it, but just don't. Just sit him and
Just don't.
move on.
We're trying to fill air. We're trying to fill air, Jay.
we're gonna say all their names in entirety. UPL Lukanen,
Alexander Lyon.
goalie for Buffalo. We're gonna sit them.
Yeah, I feel like
Goalie for
Lukanen's
Buffalo.
the no-brainer.
Yeah, that's a good question. Here I am rolling through some of the other stuff. I haven't even checked the playoff prep one. That's interesting.
You have ad drop. There we go.
Ad drop. Let's see.
12 team. Oh, this scoring is
Wow.
rough. All right. So with Eberle, Raquel, Stankoven, and Bennett on the wire, should any be on my roster over these guys? So I think if any of them, based on current team and deployment, Raquel is maybe one of the ones that is worth picking up.
Ricky Rack.
Rickle. So we got Rantanen, Connor, Boldy, Forsberg, Robertson. What is this? Like a 8-team league? Or no, 12-team. Never mind. Velarde, Meyer, Stu, Pinto. And then on bench, he's got McCann, Cousins, Kachuk. Maybe over Cousins.
Which of these guys is on the shorthanded or sorry, plays on the penalty kill? Because if you look at blocks, holy smokes. Any forward that blocks is insanely valued. So which of those 4 guys blocks? I think like none of them.
None of them,
Yeah.
probably.
Does Stankoven
like,
even
even
have a
Kut-
sample size where I could look?
Probably not. I was like, even Kucherov gets like random blocks here and there, but
Yeah, it's not.
not enough to justify like, I need him. He is worth more over this guy. I don't know. For that one, for me, it's Cousins.
Over any should
Yeah, I
any
have
be
to
on
look
my
at that
roster
list.
over any of these guys? Sorry, so you're saying you would drop Cousins?
Cousins to
Cousins
pick up
for-
Rackle. Brickle Rackle.
Cousins pick up Rackle. Yeah, I could see that one. Even with the playoff schedule for Buffalo.
Well, I mean, he didn't say if this
I
was.
guess.
He didn't say if this was
I
like a
guess so.
short-term
Yep,
ad or
mhm.
something.
That's a good point.
True. Yeah, I can't really see any other name that juts out to me. I guess it depends where you stand on the Velarde Ehlers setup with their sometimes Houdini disappearing acts, but
Right.
probably say you got it.
All right. Still no live questions.
Man,
I wonder
that's
if we.
disappointing. I was told there would be questions.
And it's
Do
still
you guys
early.
want to
It's
jump into the
11:20.
trade talk?
Well, there we go. We could do that.
Ooh, okay.
It's like probably we could go like from Navgate.
Scroll all the way down because I haven't been in there in a while. Okay. So we'll start at this
All
one.
right.
16 league. Oh my gosh. 16 league.
Where are you there? There we are.
So we're basically trading Connor for Stamkos and Kadri. Okay. I don't think Winnipeg has a special playoff schedule. I think I still take the Stamkos and Kadri side.
How can
I mean,
not
he's doing
see-
a 2-for-1 here.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I realized the time. It's the time thing. That's the 8. That's the 10 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah, 10:55 yesterday. 16 league.
So they are getting Connor and they're giving up Stamkos and Kadri.
Yes.
Okay. I would keep Stamkos and Kadri.
I know. That's how I'm leaning. Because, well, I guess Kadri is probably just a stream.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess it depends what you're trading for and what you're trying to achieve for it. Like in terms of like short term playoff push versus a playoff like run. I definitely don't think Kadri fits into many lineups. Like I think literally Calgary plays 9 games.
No, they have
3 times.
I think in
each
the
week.
weeks 23 through 25, like Calgary's like one of the worst schedules.
Yeah, it's literally like 3s. It's like a perfect math like formula. It's like literally 3 times in the first week, and then the second, and then the third, all on off nights across all weeks. It's just
So we do have a live question here, real quick.
sad.
Who makes
We're
the
free,
best
then maybe
picks?
Kadri would be a good value, but aside
And
from
this
that,
is directed at me.
pretty trash.
I don't know, hun, which one of us makes the best picks.
Although,
yeah, 9 times out of 10, maybe.
Well, I was even telling Jay about this on Thursday's recording. I don't know if it was like a semi or a final.
Mm-hmm.
You were like Boston was pretty much like the best matchup, best team to pick from. There were kind of 2 players that were standouts. The player I picked ended up doing nothing, but the player you picked, which was contrary to me,
Mm-hmm.
was one of the ones that scored that day.
Yep.
Which is always how it works.
Yeah. I'd say a lot of times if it comes down to it, somehow
you make the better pickups.
Mhm.
But there we go. All right, so back to Connor, Stamkos, Kadri. I still want Stamkos and Kadri.
I would keep Stamkos.
Although,
The
you know what? Now that I think
ceilings.
about it, you're getting rid of 2 guys who have inferior schedules in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because remember, like
Well, I don't know,
Lightning
like,
have
Tampa-
that 2-game week 24.
2 game. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. Like it's really weird. I don't like the Lightning schedule. I don't know. We should complain to the NHL for like fantasy purposes next year. But like it's terrible to have a 2-2-4-2-4 because then both teams going in like for a playoff, I guess, push and a playoff run don't want like the team. Like it makes no sense. Anyways, it's so irrelevant.
Which is exactly why I
to
traded
NHL.
Cooch for Dry.
Absolutely. But I think if you're just talking about value of players here, if you just did Kyle Connor for Stamkos. Do you think that's still equivalent value?
No.
You don't think so?
Stamkos takes a hit for me, and then
Okay.
But he also has center left wing, whereas Connor is pure left wing.
Just left wing, yeah. So like Stamkos has like the flexibility
Mhm.
there.
Yeah,
And
I like
then
that.
I would say like Kadri, what like you're getting a top line. Like, could you get a replaceable top line center on the wire?
Oh yeah,
Actually,
like dude, that's why I
6-team
punt
league.
centers.
Wait, hold up. This is a 6-team league.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. Like you're almost poison pilling this dude by sending him Stamkos and Kadri.
Yeah.
Because now
Wait,
he
so
has
if
to make
anything,
room for
he's-
Kadri, who
Mhm.
would probably be a replacement level player in a 16
Easily.
league.
so if anything, we should tell him definitely do the trade, right? Because he's team A.
I mean, I
You
just
think?
depending on their scoring, though, I think Kadri might get you more than Connor.
You think? Because I mean, if he gets one player, he opens up, like I'm assuming, a streamer spot as well.
In a 16 league, so it's like studs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But,
Do we want to espouse consolidation for all listeners kind of thing? Like if you
I
can
mean-
get a Matthews as opposed to two guys that can kind of outperform Matthews combined.
I mean, you consolidate for getting Connor, but I don't know what's on the wire then that you pick up. But we have a question here. Let me stop screen. What's up, guys? I know the past few pods haven't shown a lot of good things on Faber at this point. With his playoff schedule for weeks 23-25, which we said was Minnesota was kind of toward the bottom there. He can be an easy drop for a streamer at this point. I guess for me, it depends on who's in the wire. But I think like we've discussed, rookies are wild cards. I think for now, Faber's back on power play 1, but he hasn't done much with it. And again, Exhibit A, my freaking rant about getting a free skate in that blowout against Vancouver a few weeks ago. Like, how do you not, especially being on the power play, how do you not get in on something in a game like that? I guess I need more context as far as like who is available on the wire, but for me, yeah, I think he is replacement level at this point.
Oh my God, I didn't realize they had a bad number of weeks even before. Jeez. 3 games, 3 games.
Not been great.
And then it's gonna be, oh, geez. Okay, yeah. No, I'm just looking here, right?
Cut
So
him
let's say the
loose.
coming week, they get 3 games, and then they only play in the second half of the week too. So I would say, yeah, drop early. Drop even late week 20 so that you can get some streamers for the beginning of week 20, early week 21. And then afterwards, if you really want to pick them back up, because I don't know, like I would pray to be in a league where anyone would be burning like waiver wire, like priority to add Brock Faber. Oh, that'd be so juicy. So he's probably available on your wire still on March 7th if you want to get him in week 21, like second half. And then afterwards, yeah, he's all on heavy nights in week 20, 22. He's all on, geez. Well, he's not on all heavy nights in week 23, but he still only plays 3 games. Yeah, I think this isn't Jay going the long version of, yes, Matty.
But again, he's a defenseman, so it'll be easier to fit a defenseman in on busy days than a forward.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I mean,
Like,
again, I guess it depends on who's available on the wire and then who you're replacing him for.
Yeah. Who do you want?
oh yeah, true. Yeah. Matty D, like who is available there?
Right, yeah.
Right. I mean, if it's a guy like I don't know, if you're picking up like a Devontae's or even a Bowen Byram, like someone maybe a little depth, but probably stands a better chance of contributing on the play. Yeah, sure. Someone like that. Yeah, especially like we said, I know I was using Colorado as an example, but next week specifically, they have a better schedule there. So yes, I think we're all kind of in agreement.
Yeah.
Yes, Brock Faber can probably drop at this point.
Just pick up a good person.
So nothing new in starter bench.
Oh.
Oh.
There
we go. There we go. My D is
go.
Harley, Werenski, Faber, Montour.
Okay.
Get a beefer on the back end. There's guys like Pionk, Hannafin,
Oh,
Manson, Forsling, Byram,
And Jones. Okay, yeah,
There
you can happily
Jay.
drop Faber.
Wait, where's
Byram
Jones?
and-
Where's Jones?
At the
You
he just
gotta
added
get those
it.
25 minutes in there.
25. It's more like 35, dude.
Right? Oh my
Yeah.
Manson's tempting though. He seems to be prone to getting assists.
Okay, am I going off the deep end here? But I'm like,
Oh no.
Thomas Harley doesn't really belong in the same vein of conversation with Werenski, Faber, Montour, right? Like he doesn't. Play
Yeah,
that
I almost think
Heiskanen's back.
I almost think Harley can be
Because-
on the block too.
Yeah, you can chop those two off.
Because as long as
Like I would
Uh,
definitely way rather have like Jones. I would way rather have Jones than Harley, just straight up.
right. Oh no, yeah.
And then
I
in
would
terms
rather
of-
as long as Heiskanen's healthy, Harley is I don't know, like maybe power play too. What's he even done in his last few games?
Yeah.
Thank God it isn't a plus
And-
minus league.
It's not like Dallas has a crazy good schedule either. Week 21, 3 games. Week 22, 3 games. Week 23. Actually, they have a good schedule on the week 23 because it's off nights. But yeah,
Yeah,
aside
he's
from
gotten
that,
1 point in his last
It
6.
should be.
Yeah.
Shot rate's okay. I think Harley is replaceable, and I would absolutely love to have like Manson, Forsling, definitely Jones.
Mhm.
Manson over
Manson?
Byram.
Manson doesn't even get power
Yeah.
play time. He does? What? Okay, I'm gonna check.
No, Manson doesn't get power play time, but he seems to be prone to getting in on assists.
Right. Well, I mean, his team is way more powerful than
There we go.
Jones,
That's
for example.
So,
But
So yes.
so drop Harley and Faber, get Jones and Forsling or Manson if you like Allen.
Between Manson or
Forsling,
Forsling.
power play 2 as well. Hannafin could still.
Yeah, but what's
well,
that power
Hannafin
play 2
may-
unit on Winnipeg compared
Yeah.
to the other
Okay,
team?
but here's the thing though. Maybe Matty D actually answered the whole thing himself because how many times is any player mentioned? I think it's mentioned once, except for Hannafin. So maybe Hannafin's the answer.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Putting
Hannafin,
that
I
there.
think, is getting power play 1 right now in Calgary, but a lot of trade rumors about him. So, I think that power play 1 deployment was to showcase him for a trade.
Yeah. Look how great
But
he
could
is.
it be a
Now
high
take
risk, high
him.
reward? Could it be a high risk, high
No,
reward because if
So
he's
the most prevalent
traded-
rumor for Hannafin is to Tampa, and there's no way they bump Hedman down.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Well, you
So,
hope,
no.
hope he's
I
kept.
think
Hope
Thanks
he's
for playing
kept.
devil's advocate, Jay. Let's just, thanks for-
Yay.
Hey, man, even the
Yeah,
devil
no,
needs
it's-
someone to be in his
right,
Yeah,
corner.
but that's freaking nightmarish.
Yeah.
But yeah, Faber, Harley, droppable. Pick 2 of Forsling, Manson, Jones. But I say Jones is probably your top
Best.
priority.
Mhm.
And we know we have Jay support on that one.
Do we? Jay, how do you feel about Jones again? Just one more time.
Oh man. Any player that bunches up 25 minutes a night deserves to be rostered.
At least. And I don't. They may move him off power play 1, but he's still gonna munch like all the minutes.
Oh yeah.
But Manson, Forsling, pick one of those
Do we
two.
want to check
Not
in on
Hannafin.
Prangley's Landeskog?
Yes, this is a toughie because I know
Ooh.
I actually have sniped him and put him in IR in my keeper league. Because again, in that league, my long-term hedge is hedge against the team that owns McKinnon and Rantanen. Where do you expect Landeskog to go in drafts next year? sitting on waivers in an 8-keeper league. I'm assuming it's you keep 8. Tempted to add stash on IR now. That season is in the last few weeks. I say you're not terribly crazy, depending on when you need to choose keepers. I think some leagues do it at the end of the season. I know the keeper league I run, we do it like right before the season starts, like a week before the draft. When in the draft, I try to do the last weekend before the season starts. I definitely worth this. So if you pick your keepers beginning of next season, 100%, if you have the IR spot, stash him. And then it sounds like if he comes back, it's going to be in the playoffs. So you get like a free preview of what we can expect from him. But it sounds like this, I forget what kind of injury it is. It sounds like this type of injury is think of it like a Backstrom came back from the hip surgery. It might even be hip surgery. Backstrom came back, was pretty null, and then screwed off to retirement. That is my strategy.
It's a cartilage transplant surgery. Cartilage transplant. But is that for like?
And everything I've heard.
Oh, it's his knee.
Knee.
It's his knee. So he gets a knee.
So,
yeah.
I guess even when he comes back, like he probably won't be as fast.
No.
Or eager to.
Frick, this is 2 years,
quickly.
He's going to be 2 years removed from professional hockey play.
That's hard to come back from.
Yeah.
With brand new cartilage in your knee.
Like, well,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, they've said a few times that like this surgery he underwent like is very delicate. Like he could have, if he has like the slightest setback, that can, he's definitely done at that point. Yeah, no, I say go for it. If you have the IR spot, must be on roster at season end. That makes sense. Yes.
Okay. Meow.
Pringley's throwing a
Super
must
troopers.
be on roster.
Like, there's no
at
harm.
season's end keep. Oh no, yeah, I hear you, Prangley. Like I wasted an IR spot on him too last season.
Yeah, you did.
Then eventually just threw him back into the pool, and no one took him all this season. So he wants some value right in the ow.
That's why I said super troopers.
Like the big one is he's going to be what? He's going to turn 32 next season. So wrong side of 30, not like he's obviously not the driver anymore. Like at one point with like, McKinnon, like right after McKinnon signed that, I guess non-lucrative contract,
mega deal,
McKinnon went off, right? So Landeskog was the captain. If anything, you're looking and seeing the imbalance here, right? There's like McKinnon winning, like imagine McKinnon winning the cup again. Like would Landeskog hobble out and lift it as the captain? Like, you know what I mean? It's a setup. I don't know. I'm the guy that really likes best players on teams to also match up being captains. Okay, quick, Prangley.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh.
Another wrinkle.
Oh,
Him
God.
or Evander Kane.
Yeah, Kane. Like
Evander
that's if
Kane,
it's between the two.
Especially if this is a
Kane.
league that counts any sort of bangs. Oh, and especially eight keepers, because you got to think that's equivalent to like your first 8 rounds.
Also, is it 8 keepers? And how many teams are in the league? Is it 8 teams and 8 keepers? Is that
I
what's
hope it's
happening?
not 8 team. It just keep 8.
That's how I read it.
But as far as drafts go, like I said, if Landeskog comes back for the playoffs and he puts up like amazing numbers, that's gonna raise his stonks, and you probably won't get to draft him. I say, it doesn't hurt. There we go, 12 team keeper.
So it's what 96
With
96 players kept. Like Evander Kane is easy. He's way better than 90. He's way better than 96. Other players of the league. Is Landeskog? Genuine question. Landeskog's kind of like a hovering 80.
At this point, it's like Couturier. Like he was a giant question mark going into this season. He hadn't played in 2 seasons.
But is Couturier even a top 80 guy too? Like I could be wrong.
No.
Like, maybe he is. I'm just looking.
I wouldn't put him there.
He is 191st in our bangers league. So I mean, like in our listener league, he's 191st. So I don't think Couturier is terrible by any stretch of means or measure. But if you're thinking about keeping a guy and using a valuable keeper slot and spot on him for a guy that also has injury history atop, like Couturier is probably an equivalent, a nice little equivalency where you're saying they're just not the same players post-injury. Like that's just not
Right.
what happens. So I would be
Especially the
shocked
knee, man. You
if
got
Landeskog came back and delivered top 40. Yeah, I'd be shocked if he delivered top 40 value.
Yeah, Kane
Yeah.
over taking a chance on
Easy.
Landeskog. Kane.
Yeah.
100%.
Easy.
Especially you since
He
Pringley
needs,
says he has
he
bangs.
needs to be playing and staying healthy to pay off all his gambling debts. So he is definitely going to
and
be
all his
playing,
women.
delivering value. And all his women. Just he's going to be doing it.
Get value for Kane and stash Landeskog. Yeah, I
Oh. If there's a player to trade, there's going to be somebody else that thinks like you, Ian. And I would way rather be on the side that's getting the tangible value from Kane and the other manager being the dreamy, like fantastical fantasy value from a hypothetical Landeskog. Yeah.
all right. So
My
Matty
defense is
D with
Jersey
another.
Chronic.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, yeah. Jersey, Chronic, Heiskanen, Montour, Chikrin, McAvoy. Jeez. My goodness. Wow. That's good.
This is for a keeper league. We take the NHL salary cap, split it in half.
Geez.
We're able to keep as many players up to the cap. Ooh, that's an interesting take.
That's pretty cool.
This is a cap-friendly logic.
I know this is a
immediately.
cap question. Well, Heiskanen's going to carry the hit, but he is undisputed in his deployment. I feel like you have to make room for him.
Oh, yeah, 100%. McAvoy as well.
Oh, it's
yeah, I was going to say McAvoy.
McAvoy is
the top for me.
8-9 mil.
Oh, jeez.
I know we got to
firing
pull
up
up
cap
cap,
friendly.
cap friendly here.
Give us a second to do our
All right, so in a
research.
vacuum, like forget
In a vacuum, it's
salary.
Heiskanen, Montour, McAvoy, and then of the three remaining, I am thinking Chikrin, because Jersey and Hronik are kind of, well, Jersey is actually,
Okay,
so,
good.
So,
You've
All right,
got,
so
you've
he
got
agrees.
good bones. All right.
Heiskanen and McAvoy are absolute
so
keeps.
it's Montour, Chikrin, Jersey, Hronik, and I feel like my fingers are almost indicating where I'm leaning. I would lean away from Jersey and Hronik if I had to keep, but what argument could you make? Like Chikrin, you could argue that like
if
they're still
Talbot
going to
gets
give Shabbat
dealt,
and Sanderson their run.
not Talbot, Shabbat. If Shabbat gets dealt at deadline or in the
Shabbat.
offseason, that does raise Chikrin's value. But it seems like the contract is with Sanderson.
But I think we looked
see-
at it. All of them have contracts. All of them are like 25 years old and like have like 8-year or 6-year contracts. Like it's a great Ottawa problem defensively and a terrible fantasy headache for us as managers. So
Right.
I feel like if anything, if you're going for run, I don't know. If you're going for run, you still probably want Chikrin because Chikrin still plays like 23 minutes a night.
Right. And I think he last night just got his
he's
first
old.
point in like a million games. Because the only reason I'm holding him in our Reddit Keeper League is the trade, which I don't know, like we've discussed, like it seems kind of bad form to trade Chikrin after making a big deal of him coming to the team. But keepers, we're good. Keepers. Heiskanen, McAvoy.
Hronik, I think Hronik is the guy you would keep only if you like believed Quinn Hughes was a training camp injury away, like unless that happens, there's no real reason to hold him.
There we go. Jersey's interesting. He's been I think we can probably expect him to be a 40-45 point defenseman this season. Peripherals are meh. I'd rather keep Montour
and Chicken.
and Chicken.
Yeah.
Jersey, for some reason, I always mix up almost with Ghost Bear, where it's like they are a good offensive defenseman on a relatively not as competitive team. Now, I mean, I think Ghost Bears flipped that switch a little bit by, like Detroit actually has pieces. So Ghost Bears offensive prowess has actually led them to wins as well. But yeah, like, do you think like Jersey in this season? Oh, this could be famous last words. But I friggin' think that Jersey's setup in 23-24 is pretty much kind of like the offensive cap. Like that's kind of how much you're gonna get, like offensively. Like he's given the run, he gets the time. He like any other team he goes to is gonna have the same like LA Kings problem he had from last season, where it's like you have a grizzled veteran that's soaking up minutes. So that's not Arizona this season. Like Matt Dumba's been hurt for a while and hasn't challenged him on the power play one. So if there's any season that's going to be like a nice little highlight of what looks to be his potential, his cap is whatever, barring him incredibly increasing his output because he just became an immensely better hockey player, this 23-24 season is probably just what Jersey's going to have. Like this offensive like cap. That's what it would look like.
We're seeing what we can expect from Jersey as long as he remains on the Coyotes.
And what are we seeing? Like it's
right. Like a 45 point guy.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like as your third or fourth defenseman, he's all right. But yeah, if you want to keep 4 defensemen, not have to worry. Yeah, Heiskanen, McAvoy, Montour, and I'd say probably Jersey is that 4th.
Oh, you want Jersey for the 4th?
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of who? Chychrun
instead of
Chychrun or Hronek. Because I feel like Hronek has, especially in the beginning of the season, been a big beneficiary of the PDO squad in Vancouver.
I am going to say there's a bias in my mind, which is Chychrun carried me to the championship in 2020 to 2021. So I keep thinking like, for Jacob.
Remember that.
Also on the Coyotes, funny enough.
Yeah.
But so maybe you should keep Jersey because something about that team gives just, young guys with power play one run time. It's just immense.
Yeah, God, I remember like talking smack that, like what incentive does Arizona have to run like a competent power play? So it might be like 2 defensemen, a different defenseman each game. But no, it seems like Jersey's got it and, he's not moving off of it unless there's an injury.
Now the question is, what is Jersey's contract?
It can't be that much.
Because what is Jersey's contract? Jersey's contract is what?
I don't think it's much.
No, it doesn't. I don't think so.
It's a 2-year contract.
That sounds right.
Oh,
well, because it was probably like a bridge to his payday. So his cap hits 1.7
So that's the thing too.
So he's
to
cheap.
Consider,
he's a cheap
which
keeper.
Is Jersey is cheap, but also is he cheap going forward? Because I guess he would definitely be a good keeper this season, but he might not be good value next season. It also depends. He has. His contract is up after this season. Okay, I thought so. It also depends on your league if they keep the contract for the 23-24 or if it's the upcoming signed one for the 24 July. Because if that's the case, you're keeping the guy, and then you could literally have an unplanned spike in your cap come like draft time, which could be
because if he's an undisputed 1D power play 1, I don't see them giving him like an $8 million contract though. Like his current one's 1.7. Maybe they give him like a $5 million, 3 to 5, somewhere in there. And look at us, we're trying to predict like contracts now. When it's supposed to be like who sits, who starts.
You guys are evolving.
I don't, we're reaching new markets.
So he said he wanted Hronek?
He was thinking Hronek,
I guess.
Because of, like you.
I mean, there's
thinking of Chychrun from the Coyotes.
Yeah.
I mean, there is value in Hronek. Like he's, like the equivalency I use. Like he's the Devon Toews of the Canucks. Like he plays with Hughes at even strength. Sometimes they put him on power play 1, but I don't know that I don't see that power play 1 changing enough between this season and next that Hronek is now a permanent fixture on that.
And secondly, Hronik also has an expiring contract come this July. So if you're thinking about that setup, he's what? Like, he's definitely shown over 2 years that the team he joins is the team that improves, right? Like, he went over to Detroit, boom,
Yeah.
the team actually, played. Like, it improved what playing as well. He stole power play one time from Sider. And then now he goes over to Vancouver, and the team greatly by leaps and bounds shoots up as well. He's definitely a player that I would associate, even if it's incorrect. It's possible it's incorrect, but I would associate him with the floor raiser. And if he's a floor raiser, it reasonably states that if he's going to go back to the Canucks next season, then that's okay. That's fantastic. Maybe he gets it on a cheaper deal, or he wants to contend. If he goes for the payday, then I think there's a very good chance that he ends up being a power play one guy. And if you could get that, keeping him, hell yeah, that's a great steal.
There we go. Let's
So,
hopefully
so
answer
Maddie-
your
Yeah,
question.
I don't think we
Madsy.
answered the question. I'm gonna be
No,
honest.
I was thinking Heiskanen, Montour, McAvoy, and Dursey.
But we all have different.
There we
So.
go. All right, so back to start or bench here.
Yeah.
Looks like we do have one question. Bench one, goalie question. Oh, it's the same one we just answered. So yeah, line
UPL,
versus Florida.
bench UPL.
UPL. UPL.
UPL.
I mean,
do not
UPL's
trust
been
Buffalo.
playing great, but I don't trust Buffalo. Yeah, I don't trust Buffalo to put up any sort of defense or anything against.
Like, Vegas needs to
calls them?
win, eh? Like, I think we forget because obviously they're so safely locked in a playoff position, but
Mhm,
like
yeah.
Vegas is chasing, right? Like, Vegas wants, like they won last season in no small part due to home ice advantage, due to, like easier opponents along the way. They didn't have to face the Oilers until the conference finals, right? Like, that sort of setup makes it's not never a difference maker, but it helps. It's those little bits like all add up. They can't afford to just fall continually down into a wild card spot. So yeah, like Vegas is going to try to win, and Buffalo is going to leak goals so that
Yeah.
Vegas can get those wins.
There we go. The
Good old
votes are
Vegas.
pouring in. Yeah, Nashville. I think benching UPL's the play here.
Absolutely.
Yes, because all three of those are confirmed for today.
Okay, good.
Do we want to head back to the trade talks?
I was
while
gonna say
we're talking?
add drop here. Oh, well, it's just someone. Yeah. All right, back to trade talk. Cats Bangers, Urson and Henrique, or Ned and Nyquist. I'm assuming he
Ooh.
means Gustav Nyquist.
Let's hope. I said let's hope.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Stop.
Wait. Cats?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the Urson Henrique. Well,
Hmm.
see
Urson?
if Henrique
just
goes
for
somewhere.
starter goalie, right?
Starter goalie.
Just for
and,
starter goalie.
I mean, Henrique
Yeah.
takes a hit to me because there's no guarantee he'll get the same deployment he's getting on the Ducks right now.
Mhm.
If he goes somewhere, he'll probably be a 2C or just a middle six winger. But yeah, we got to go. Especially at this point in the season, good goalies, good starter goalies are hard to find. So yeah, Urson, the Urson side.
And the other
for
part
me.
is, what in the world is getting counted in your Cats Bangers where Nyquist completely flips the script on Henrique? Like, they both provide
right.
category coverage. So they both provide category coverage, and then there's a starter or a backup. Like, smack. Thank goodness. Look at all these other individuals agreeing. They just smash in the green.
Yeah.
check. It's true.
And then
That's the one.
Dynasty Bangers Cats, Ovi or Rob Thomas. I think this one's pretty easy, and I think it's staring us in the face. I mean, Rob Thomas doesn't give you much in the way of other things, but at least he's given you a heck of a lot more scoring than Ovi has this season. I mean, do I think Ovi bounces back a little next season? Sure. Yeah.
Should.
I don't think he bounces back to like someone you draft in like late first, second round.
Okay, yeah.
As
For
he
some
probably
reason,
takes
like, call me. I'm so sorry for like interrupting Alan, but it was just when I saw Rob Thomas, I just didn't know how old he was, right? Like you see the guy, he's got, you know, like a bit of the
Younger than
stubble,
Obi.
like, rolling
That's
through.
not hard to do.
Yeah.
No, but he looks like a super serious stoic individual that like won't age between the ages of 18 and like, you know, 50. You know what I mean? So I have no idea where he stands there. I thought this dude was 32. This dude's 24.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's pretty new.
So smash
He's a
Rob Thomas and
baby.
roll on with the day.
Yeah.
Smash
Easy
Rob
peasy.
Thomas and
No.
roll on with the day.
Especially
No
because
question
like
about
they're both
that. The only
more,
one is-
well, I just don't see
The only
Obi.
one is,
I mean, he'll
is
get you
he
the
replaceable?
peripherals, but LB won't get you the scoring he used to,
Mm-hmm.
which I'd
Yeah.
rather have from
But is
Rob Thomas.
Thomas replaceable on a wire, right? Because it depends how big the dynasty.
Ooh.
I am playing in a dynasty that's 32 teams. It's crazy, right? Like, what was the name? Like Nick Robertson is owned. You know what I mean? Like for context, like just think about that sort of scale and setup. And in a less, I guess in a less dense league, in a far more, you know, paltry dynasty league,
Mm-hmm.
is Rob Thomas possibly available on a wire? Would he be wireable?
It's a good question.
And if
I
he
know
would
he
be,
was for most
then
of the
I
season.
think you're not going to get an OV value quality player just hanging around on a wire, right? So the only way you could possibly own these guys would be if you kept onto them or traded for them. And then the other part is, as we mentioned, Obi wants the record, right? He's going to keep playing until he's 62, if that's what it takes, if he's scoring 1 goal a year, you know, like
I hope
he's
it doesn't
gonna
take
keep
that
going.
long. That'd be sad.
That would be sad.
the Capitals are going to sign him on a 1-year deals until he gets it. They want, like, they're putting butts in seats to see him break the record.
I know that's hard.
And I was like, I hope he bounces back next season and gets more than like 20 goals, but I just don't see him bouncing back to that Rocket Richard winner he was in the past.
No.
So
gonna
probably
happen.
last
Devil's
question for the
advocate.
show.
And throw out.
You're
one-
going Obi,
one more
okay.
on the-
Aw, that's so
No,
nice.
I'm just going to throw a check mark on it to
So-
just in case, you know.
So probably
Just in
last
case.
question we'll cover unless something pops into the chat here real quick. So Genio, I don't know if it's keepers, whatever. So Philip Forsberg, Sanderson, Vazzy, or Elias Pettersson and UPL. I want the Elias Pettersson side.
I'm on the Vazzy side.
Yeah, of course you
Of
are.
course I
Of course you are.
I am a
there's
little
two, right?
biased.
So best player in the trade goes to, well, it depends on your scoring, but best player in the trade could either be Forsberg or Pettersson. But importantly, Pettersson has a really
Exactly.
good week 24 schedule with 2 off nights. So if you are doing it for the playoff push in a redraft league this season, with an additional streaming spot that will be opened up, I think the right side is probably, if you have a buy, the league winning play. And then if you are just talking value in terms of players available, I think the left side, the green side, is better
Yeah.
because you have
Really?
almost
That's-
equivalent
mhm.
scoring, almost equivalent
Buffalo
scoring, better
has-
goalie, and then a defenseman.
Well,
Don't
okay.
worry about Buffalo. Okay.
In a vacuum, yes, Vazzy is the better goalie, sure. But
I don't know, but
weeks 23 through 25 playoffs, Buffalo's got the better schedule. And I feel like, yeah, Elias Pettersson's probably the better player, the
But they'll
best
get the
player in that
number
trade.
of starts. Like
Yeah.
both UPL and Vazzy will get the same number of starts in that week because one of the they have 3 games. Buffalo has a 3-game schedule in week 24, but it's a back-to-back. So Vazzy and UPL will end up with 2 starts
Mhm.
anyway.
Yeah.
So I would rather have 2 Vazzy starts than 2 UPL starts. And then
Thank you.
Sanderson is kind of like, I don't know. Sanderson's kind of like, well,
Man.
the other thing here is, do you think Sanderson is a waiver wire replacement value, whatever? Probably, because they play so many games in the playoffs, but I probably also want the flexibility of my
Yeah.
waiver spot. So I don't know. It really depends. I think if I'm trying to win the league and I have, like, if I just to choose either, I would rather be in the setup of Pettersson and UPL. Alan, you know I love streaming, so yeah, I have to be on
Yeah.
Pettersson and UPL with the stream.
Well,
spot.
either way, you try to get a streamer spot. To your point, that Sanderson is replacement level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it seems like he's gotten power play 1 since Martin took over. But
Oh,
I don't know. For
actually,
me,
if you take out
Actually.
Sanderson, where would you stand? Just the 2-on-2.
Pedersen, UPL.
Really?
No.
For the rest of
No.
season,
For the rest
I
of
would
the-
rather have Pedersen and UPL.
Gotta disagree with you. Sorry.
I don't think UPL is anywhere near in the same value, but
No,
I
no,
think
but
Pedersen. It depends on
Pedersen is the better player than
He's-
Forsberg. Like, yeah, you take a hit in net, but yeah. Well, shoot. All right. I always forget Vancouver's on a slide right now. But even then, I would bet for Pedersen over Forsberg.
like I'm just gonna look at like league setups right here, but I'm pretty sure Pedersen and Forsberg are like neck and neck, right? Forsberg is
I
ninth in the
don't-
league.
I don't
Pedersen is
good as you're saying.
13th in. Wait, sorry, what am I saying then? Yeah, Pedersen is actually ranked lower than Forsberg in our league, but our league is very bangers focused.
Banger centric, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
banger centric. So it depends, but
All right,
yeah,
so
like,
2 against
like
1.
Forsberg
It
is
seems
actually-
like I am the contrarian now, and I think I still want Pedersen. Maybe it's
you
the name
can-
value. Maybe I
You
just
can-
I want the name value in Pedersen over Forsberg.
maybe it's
You
not-
can stand, in
Forsberg
your
does have it.
wrongness.
I do. I will double down. in
You
my
are going to
wrongness.
double down. You're going to go pick him up now.
Forsberg does have a terrible playoff schedule though, which hurts my soul because I have many shares of the Nashville Predators.
So there we go. Sounds like 2 for the green side, 1 for the red side. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it there. Thanks everyone for your questions. Again, yeah, you can always drop them in the Discord or jump in here live and we will answer them on air. Thanks Jay and wonderful
Bo.
wife Bo for helping
you.
run the show today.
Thanks for
we'll
letting
see.
me show up.
Yeah. You didn't have to travel far for this one. But yeah, we will see everyone.
Was that a
same
pun?
bat
Show up
time,
or
same
no,
bad
right,
channel?
right.
No, she didn't have to travel far. That was the joke.
No, but the
But-
show up. Get it? Jay gets it. Thank you, Jay.
But yep, thanks everyone. We will see you next week.